Your Honor, may it please the court, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good morning. Mr. Lissay, Mr. Saunders, prosecutors for the state of Wisconsin. You're going to hear some testimony in this case from the defense expert, Dr. Diane Litton. She's from the Menasha area. She's a PhD. She's a forensic psychologist. You're going to hear testimony from the state doctors as well, Dr. Matthew Seipel and Dr. Christina Engine. The burden does shift to the defense in this particular case. We're in phase 2 now, and the burden shifts to the defense, to me, to ask you to consider whether the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, is responsible or is not responsible by reason of mental disease or defect. And Wisconsin law, under Wisconsin statutes 971.15, does require the defense to satisfy you jurors to a reasonable certainty by the greater weight of the credible evidence that at the time the crimes were committed, which was February 22nd of 2022, that Taylor Schabusiness had a mental disease or had a mental defect, and that as a result, she lacked the substantial capacity either to appreciate the wrongfulness of her conduct or to conform her conduct to the requirements of the law. So that's packed with a lot of information that you're going to have to consider. I did tell you yesterday that you're kind of like analysts. You're going to have to listen to the testimony, listen to the facts, assess the credibility of the witnesses, assess the information that you're receiving, and then you'll have to make some decisions and considerations on these important legal issues. The defense did retain Dr. Diane Litton. She interviewed Taylor Schabusiness. We believe that the evidence will show that she did a thorough evaluation of Ms. Schabusiness's mental status, that you will hear about Dr. Litton's extensive experience in the field of psychology. When you have experts, you kind of heard from other experts, and they have a resume or a CV. In the field, we say CV, curriculum vitae. It's a list of their experience in training and education. And you're going to hear that Dr. Litton has been a psychologist since 1993, that she has extensive experience, that she has approximately 3,000 hours of postdoctoral training, that she conducted hundreds of forensic evaluations and GI competency evaluations, things of that sort. You will hear testimony that she worked at Mendota Mental Health Institution here in Wisconsin, that she looked at many different evaluations performed on Taylor Schabusiness, including from Dr. Tracy Lucetta, Dr. Matthew Seipel, Dr. Christina Engine, Dr. Deborah Collins. And you will hear that Dr. Litton, we believe she'll testify that she looked at a whole myriad of records, including jail records, mental health records, a court order, an order for civil commitment, mental health order, an order to take psychotropic medications, basically a medication order. She will, I believe, testify that she reviewed Nicolay Psychiatric Center mental health records from Brown County. She will talk and testify about her contacts with Ms. Schabusiness on the different occasions that she met with her. One being a situation where a chair was thrown by my client at her before I got involved in the case. She will testify that she did have another interview with her at the jail, and she asked me to sit in. So you're going to hear about all of her findings, her observations, and her opinions in this particular case. We believe that she has extensive experience. She's been in this field for a very long time, and that you need to pay close attention to what she says and give her opinions strong consideration. Give it due weight. And we believe that her testimony will be that she's of the opinion that Taylor Schabusiness does qualify for the NGI plea based on her diagnosis of a serious mental disorder. And that she has some other opinions, and she'll tell you about those when she testifies. You will hear, I believe, testimony from my client's father, Arturo Coronado. And I believe that he will come here. He's been summoned by the defense by subpoena to answer some questions about his daughter growing up, how she was, what kind of issues or problems did she have, what kind of mental health issues, and what he did to try and help her get treatment. You will hear from Dr. Litton about my client's mother, that she lost her mother at a young age, and that was a pivotal event in her life. Dr. Litton will also provide some testimony about the fact that she believes there may have been a budding personality disorder, and that she saw a really disturbed teen when she assessed all of the school records. She looked at all the school records and did a table or a chart. She looked at the mental health history. She did a one-page chart on that. You know, the burden of proof in this case does rest with the defense on the NGI issue. I think that the testimony from all of these different professionals, these different doctors, these psychologists who talk about behavior and things of that sort, you're going to hear their testimony about all of the different problems, all of the different mental health issues, all of the different behavioral issues that Taylor Schabusiness had growing up as a kid, as a youth. She had a lot of obstacles that she had to face growing up. We believe Dr. Litton will also provide some testimony about my client's prior treatment with antipsychotic medications. She will testify about my client going off these antipsychotic medications sometime after her inpatient treatment in 2021. And Dr. Litton will set up and provide the background history and information on Taylor Schabusiness's life and upbringing. So the defense does have the burden of proof on this issue of whether our client is responsible for these crimes. But we believe that the testimony and the evidence will show that at the time of the offense that she did have a mental disease or defect. We believe that the information and the testimony will show and hopefully lead to you to conclude that she lacked the substantial capacity to appreciate the wrongfulness of her conduct or to conform her conduct to the requirements of the law. And what I ask is that you just sit back, carefully listen to what these experts have to say, and then render a fair and just result. Thank you.